Joining us next on the show, we have Kaitlyn Stocker. Kaitlyn is a park naturalist programmer at West Bloomfield Parks. Today, Kaitlyn is here to talk about the importance of monarch butterflies and a little bit about Michigan Trails Week. Thank you so much for joining us, Kaitlyn. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Ursula.
So, Kaitlyn, can you tell us a little bit about the beautiful monarch butterflies and why they are so important?
Yeah, so monarch butterflies are super important because they are one of the most unique insects because they migrate all the way south, which is over 2,500 miles, which is pretty impressive for such a small animal. Other animals that migrate are birds and bats. This is super, just very impressive, and they're wonderful pollinators to have around.
So I read somewhere, I couldn't tell you where I read it, but I heard that milkweed attracts them. So some people kind of like grow it in their backyard. How do you, is that like true? Do that?
Yeah, so that's like a perfect way to help our monarchs out is by planting tons of milkweed and flowering plants. So milkweed is where they actually lay their eggs. They taste with their feet, so that's how they tell what plant they're actually on. And if the milkweed disappeared or went away, which it is decreasing, people don't like planting it, um, which is sad because it's a beautiful plant, but that helps them to continue their life cycle.
So you said that people don't like planting it. Is it difficult to upkeep? How is that? I mean, is it easy to grow it in the
That's
backyard?
a great question. So it's actually not difficult to grow them. I think a lot of people don't know that wildflowers and native flowers can be very beautiful. And milkweed has beautiful blooms in the summertime. So they're a great plant to keep around.
So what are the statistics on endangerment for this species?
So in some populations of monarchs, around an 80% decline since the 80s, which is a vast amount of decline. Like that's a scary amount because we don't have nearly the populations we used to have. I know that people used to see the like plumes of monarchs flying south. People don't see them in that quantity anymore, which is really sad and unfortunate.
So what can we do to help that population? I know you said we can grow milkweed, but what else is there?
So growing milkweed, growing other flowering plants, because as adults, they can enjoy nectar from a variety of plants. But the milkweed is vital for their eggs to be laid on. And another thing is to reduce our herbicide use. When we use herbicide, it has a consequence of killing off some of the plants that we would like to keep around for our pollinators. And that's really the best we can do and what we can do for our pollinators as well as our monarchs.
Are there any animals that target monarchs? Are there anything that they can be, scared of being around?
Yeah. So birds, bats, and other animals would like to eat monarchs, but the milkweed, as they uh, eat it in their larval form, which is the caterpillar, they actually develop this toxin because the milkweed has cardiac glycosides, which makes them taste really bitter to other animals. So that beautiful orange coloring is actually a warning to other animals to stay away from me. I taste bad and will make you sick.
That is something that I did not know. I always thought they were just so pretty because of the colors, but
Yeah,
that is very interesting. So, you talked about migration earlier. Can you touch on that a little more? Why do they migrate?
sure.
Where do they go?
So they actually travel to Mexico during around August to September. And organizations like Monarch Watch, you may have heard of, they do a ton of monarch tagging, and it lets scientists know how many are actually making their journey south, where they're winding up due to weather patterns and stuff like that. It also indicates how much are actually surviving during their journey. So it's really important that organizations like that help with their migration data.
That's very interesting, actually. I've
Mhm.
never heard of that. So, can
Yeah,
you tell us a little bit about Michigan Week or Michigan Trails Week? I'm sorry.
of course. So Michigan Trails Week is between September 18th and the 25th. We are doing a photo scavenger hunt. So if you take 3 pictures at some various parks in our township uh, and upload them, there's a chance to win a free registration for 4 to one of our nature programs.
Are there any West Bloomfield parks where monarchs do show up?
Quite a few. So if you go to any of them, actually, we have beautiful pollinator gardens, and chances are you will see at least one flying around.
So do you have to be local to attend these parks, or can anybody go? Is it a public thing?
So the parks are public and anyone can submit these scavenger hunts. It's basically a way to encourage the community to go out and enjoy our natural areas.
And then is there a charge to participate, or is it free?
It's free to participate.
So is there anything else you would like to talk about this event coming up?
Uh, so nothing about Michigan Trails Week, even though I am very happy that people will be enjoying the trails soon. But also we have open hours in September 20th, September 24th. We have open hours for people to come and enjoy our open our outdoor natural play area and our beautiful nature room over here. Check out some of our animals.
So do you get a lot of people in the colder months in winter walking the trails or anything?
Sometimes we do, which is why we do snowshoeing. So it encourages people to get out there in the winter because a lot of people are afraid of the cold. Me too. I don't like the cold that much. But there's a lot of beautiful things to see during that time of year.
And then is your nature center open during the winter, or does that close?
So we do have some open hours during the winter time, and people are more than welcome to check out our nature room during that time.
Is there anything else you'd like to touch on before we go today?
So if you want to register for any of our nature programs or check out our timeframes for our open hours, you can go to wbparks.org and it has all the information right on the website.
And can you tell us what that website is just so we can put it up on the screen for our viewers?
It is wbparks.org. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.